Month 2. Get fit. I am creating my best me, one step at a time. To get fit in 1 month would be an impossible task after 40+ years living a sedentary lifestyle. I was delusional if I thought I could breathe and walk simultaneously, let alone achieve fitness. Moving the goalpost slightly, I changed this resolution to move more. Did you know the absolute minimum amount of exercise we should all be doing is half an hour, 5 days a week? I hadn't done that since I was 6, so I decided that was going to be my minimum target. Should be easy enough. As I cast my mind back 30 years, I had fond memories of me and my school pals skipping across the daisy-filled playing fields, pigtails swaying in the balmy summer breeze, singing along to the skipping rope song of the week, Ally Ally Upsy Daisy. Let's fast forward to the present day, now a 42-year-old sedentary mother of 3, and skipping just didn't have the glow I remembered. Let me paint you the picture. It was a miserable day outside, but I was eager to get started on the move more part of my resolution. I decided that due to the fact I had no ceiling pendants, I could get away with skipping indoors. After taking out the wall light fitting, I moved to the front room, which was slightly bigger. I cleared a space and flicked on the telly to keep me company. Any warm, fuzzy feelings about skipping soon fizzled out when I started leaping around my living room. I resembled a lava lamp, folds of flab clashing together, boobs bouncing right and left, up and down. Top tips to consider before embarking on a skipping regime. Wear a sports bra. Antenna lady. Knee supports, elbow pads and a crash helmet wouldn't go amiss either. After 5 minutes, I had turned an alarming shade of crimson and my heart was singing to me, "What are you doing, you crazy fool? What are you doing, you crazy fool?" If I tried to do half an hour of this, my kids would be mopping my remains off the lounge carpet. So, for the sake of my children, I stopped after 7 excruciating minutes and spent the next 23 flat on my back, watching the tiny tweeting birds circling about my head. I decided to adopt a triathlon style to my routine, and hopefully it would keep me from keeling over. I would do 5 minutes of skipping, 5 minutes running up and down the stairs, and 5 minutes of wall slides, or squats. This was still challenging, but not so suicidal. My heart was now singing, "Skip, jog, slide, skip, jog, slide." I was glad when the week was over. I found skipping much tougher than I had expected, but all the lava lamping meant another pound lost at Weight Watchers. Not all bad then. We all learn to walk at a young age, so you would think that walking is as natural as breathing, but apparently I wasn't doing either right. Swinging my hips was a no-no, panting and gasping for breath, another no-no, causing embarrassment to my daughter, the biggest no-no of them all. So I stopped swinging my hips as I walked her up to school, and tried to relax into a brisk pace as I embarked on a week of walking. It does help to have a lovely place to walk, a forest, the park, or a canal path, but the main road at rush hour didn't have the same aura about it, and my coughing and spluttering added to the look of desperation, but at least I was out and moving more. Women normally walk at 3 miles per hour as an average, but if you want to lose weight, then you need to walk a bit faster. 4 to 6 miles an hour will help you cover a mile in 10 to 15 minutes and contribute to your weight loss. It's great if, like me, you are 5 feet 10 inches, but when I went walking with my mum, who is 5 feet 3 inches, she was practically sprinting alongside. Do what feels comfortable for you. There are some excellent books and websites such as walking.about.com, offering tips and advice on walking for weight loss and health. Don't forget, you can get the family involved. Walk the dog or someone else's, walk to school or work instead of taking the car, park at the car park farthest away from the shops. As I discovered, walking hadn't just helped my weight loss, another pound, it also lifted my mood. There are emotional benefits to walking, increased energy, less stress, better sleep, and it can relieve your PMS. Alongside the emotionally upbeat feelings, you also reduce the risk of heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, and a whole host of other nasties. It's got to be worth throwing on a good pair of trainers or walking boots and popping out for a stroll. When I decided on a Move More resolution, I wanted to embark upon a treasure trove of exercises from my youth, which is how I ended up skipping, hula hooping, and walking, all very old school. By week 8, I was feeling inspired to crank up the volume, get down with the kids, and bang on the Wii Fit. Oh yes, if it was good enough for the youngsters, then it was good enough for me. In my oh-so-distant youth, I could throw a few decent shapes on the dance floor. Of course, those amazing moves were carefully choreographed in my bedroom, with my Wham LP blasting from my record player. Yes, I said record player. However, today's kids are lethal and they take no prisoners. My son is a prime example and happens to be awesome on Just Dance. Let me quickly explain the rules for those of you without a Wii, without this particular game, without kids, or simply for all those sensible people out there. You can choose from a huge range of songs, from the more up-to-date rap songs to Elvis. Once selected, a dancer pops up on the screen, or multiple dancers if you are challenging an opponent. And it's your task to follow what they do, as if dancing in a mirror. When they go left, you go left. When they jump up and down, you jump up and down. Fairly straightforward, you would think. Our first challenge was a song from the Blues Brothers. I was happily singing along, thinking how lovely it was to be having fun with my children, when I got a smack in the eye from my son's Wii remote as I failed to duck, swing and slide in time to the music. Fun? I was black and blue by the end of song 3. To save my delicate skin from bruising like a peach, I decided to abandon the dance game and switch to the Wii Fit, a relaxing fitness regime I could enjoy on my own. I was pretty bad at the baseball and absolutely rubbish at bowling, but I thoroughly enjoyed the boxing. Word of warning though, I felt like I had done 10 rounds with Mike Tyson the next morning. My arms and shoulders ached like crazy, but I do believe the old bingo wings weren't quite so flabby. As week 9 approached, I decided to slow things down slightly and take some inspiration from my dad, who was an avid cyclist. Now, I'm no Tessie Reynolds, and had absolutely no intention of recreating her Brighton-London-Brighton trip on a bicycle. I was, however, very grateful that, at the young age of 16, Tessie had taken on her momentous task, causing a national scandal in the process, and allowing me the freedom to wear my joggers to tackle my exercise bike, instead of petticoats, bloomers and fluffy skirts. My dad has been a cyclist since before I was a twinkle in his eye. He's a really good one too, training 4 times a week and covering around 200 miles. He still races during the summer and even manages to stay on 2 wheels on occasion. He will forgive me for that quip, as I am, more often than not, the one who collects him from the various hospitals dotted across Warwickshire if he takes a tumble. I, however, did not follow in his footsteps, or wheel spokes, in the fitness department. Height, dark colouring and dry wit are all I managed to inherit. So when I informed him I was going to be including a bike in my fitness regime, he fell about laughing. Not easily deterred, I popped up to Argos and bought an exercise bike. OK, so I may not feel the wind in my hair, the flies in my teeth, or the cow shit under my fingernails, but I would be moving more, and that's what month 2 was all about. Don't get me wrong, cycling is fantastic exercise, and when my family went on holiday a couple of years ago, we all enjoyed biking through the amazing landscapes. But for this challenge, I decided a stationary bike would be easier for me to manage. In other words, I would be a liability if let loose on the roads. Exercise bikes are a wonderful way to have a cardio workout. They are low impact and easy on the ankles, knees and joints. After running a half marathon a couple of years ago, my knees took a hammering, so I was grateful for anything with low impact on the box. I hadn't managed my dad's 200 miles, not even close, but at least I was moving. I was strengthening and toning my legs and my gluteal muscles and getting ever nearer to looking like Angelina Jolie. Using the exercise bike did have its uses. As I was inside, I could catch up on any TV I had recorded, belt out my Bon Jovi album, and wheel spin to Livin' on a Prayer, or get stuck into a good read, all while toning my lower body. It's hard work, this exercise thing, but why can't we have fun along the way too? That's what I say. Month 2 equals mission completed. Month 3. Do something creative. Stop procrastinating. I am creative and happy to share my talents. Creativity is different for everyone. My talented friend Sarah knits the most amazing cardigans and jumpers. My son creates stunning pastel and oil paintings for his art coursework. My mum makes her own handmade cards, and my good friend Nikki, from sunshinegirlnicola.blogspot.co.uk, can knock up a quilt in a weekend. All of these crafts are wonderful ways to flex your creative muscles. For me, it's writing that ignites my creative side. Writing stories inevitably came from my passion for reading. As soon as I learnt to read, I was hooked. I was a walking sponge with pigtails. My favourite book as a child was Enid Blyton's The Folk of the Faraway Tree, and I still have my original copy some 30+ years later. When I wasn't reading, I was writing short stories and little poems about the seagulls outside my bedroom window. At the tender age of 15, I had my exam coursework, a children's picture book, read out in class, a proud moment. I have written a number of manuscripts, but like the hundreds of other wannabe writers, my stories have gathered dust in a desk drawer. As I got older, I picked up my pen once more and had another stab at it, this time concentrating on magazines. I was published in my local newspaper, in Fate and Fortune, Slimming World magazine, Your Home, Writing magazine, Woman Family Health Special, Scrapbooking, Spirit and Destiny, and spent 6 months as a reader agony aunt for a feature called What's Your Problem? In Woman. Yet again, life took over and I laid my pen down to rest with the usual self-doubting thoughts swirling through my mind. Not enough time and not good enough. So on New Year's Eve, I decided that enough was enough. I needed to stop procrastinating and just get on with it. I had to make time. You will never win if you never begin. Helen Rowland. The question then was how to get the creativity flowing. I made a list. I love making lists, so this was the fun part. Action steps, if you like, of how to make time in my daily schedule, to write and how to keep up with the momentum. 1. I joined a creative writing night class through my local college. 2. I submitted short stories and flash fiction to 5 writing competitions. 3. I wrote book reviews on Amazon and Goodreads. 4. I managed to achieve something I thought was impossible. I wrote every single day. That included blog posts, stories, a business newsletter, letters to magazines, and my creative writing class homework. And I realised the not enough time was a lie. If you love something enough, you'll make the time, and I suddenly realised how simple it was. By week 11, I was in the full swing of my creative challenge and loving every second of it. But I also had to keep up with the day job. That, of course, got me thinking about how I could use my work to inspire my creativity challenge. One of the workshops I run at Body and Soul Holistics is a vision board course. This 2-hour workshop helps my clients to create a vision of what they want in their lives, from career, love, family, or health matters. When I was thinking about characters and scene setting for my creative writing class, it dawned on me that vision boards could help in creating stories too. I went through a pile of magazines and cut out any photographs or pictures I felt a connection with. In other words, pictures that made me smile. Feel free to give this exercise a go. It really is addictive, and you could end up with a long list of story, poem or article ideas. No more writer's block. If you don't want to write a bestseller, then use the instructions below to create a vision of what you want in your life. Collect pictures of sports cars, happy people, piles of money, people exercising, pictures that represent the job you want, or ideal man, I have a whole board dedicated to Johnny Depp. All you need to get started is the following. 1. A cork board or other suitable base. A scrapbook works just as well. 2. Large assortment of magazines. Choose magazines that you wouldn't normally pick up. 3. Glue and scissors. And that's it. You're ready to go. Flick through the magazines and tear out all the photographs, wording, pictures and sayings you see which draw your eye or make you smile. Don't question why you like these things. Just cut them out and start to make a pile. Once you have a good selection, spread them out in front of you and begin to lay your favourites on the board. Some of your original choices may not feel right anymore. Just put those to one side for now. As you lay your pictures out, you may start to feel the story coming together. It's helpful to have a notepad handy so you can make notes. When your board is covered, take a good look at what you have created. Is there a best-selling novel planned out before you? If you can't feel it yet, then put it away for a couple of days. I make a vision board every New Year and fill it with all the things I hope to achieve in the coming year. Hanging it up where you see it every day affirms your wishes and helps you to action them. You can create vision boards for anything: the life you desire, job you dream about, health, creative stories, or you can make one as a gift for a wedding or special birthday. This is how I came up with my 12 resolutions on New Year's Eve. Being creative is so much fun, and vision boards are a wonderful pastime. Kids love to make them too. If you're going to get creative, then you've got to have some fun. As actor John Cleese once said, "If you want creative workers, give them enough time to play." Getting creative doesn't need to involve a pad and pen, artist's easel, or a pair of knitting needles. In fact, you may only need a bath full of cold beans or running shoes and an Epilepsy Research UK t-shirt. By week 12, I was taking my Do Something Creative resolution in a different direction. Question: if you were asked to raise money for your favourite charity, what creative ideas could you come up with? Here are a few of my favourite ideas. Dress up in fancy dress at work or school. Have a bake sale. Sponsored walk, swim or car wash. Shave your head. OK, this one may be a bit drastic, but it certainly worked for Jessie J on Comic Relief. When I lost my 24-year-old cousin Lee in December 2010 to SUDEP, sudden unexplained death from epilepsy, our family and friends began a campaign to raise awareness and funds for Epilepsy Research UK. My aunt and uncle started the Lee's Smile charity at an amazing gala ball held at Elland Road Football Stadium in Leeds, hosted by the wonderful Liz Green from BBC Radio Leeds, where we raised a massive £80,000. Lee was such an amazing athlete, and this prompted many of us to get involved in sporting events. The Great Manchester North Run, Rotary Stratford Half Marathon, a sponsored swim, football and cricket events, and the Three Peaks Challenge. On top of this, we'd had coffee mornings, ladies' lunches and fashion shows. My children's junior school even dedicated an entire week to fundraising for Epilepsy Research UK and raised £2,175. By being creative with fundraising, it helps to raise much-needed awareness for your chosen charity. Aside from the funds and awareness, one of the other benefits of being as creative as you can be is the chance that it could lead somewhere amazing. Take Cassidy Megan, for instance. She founded Purple Day back in 2008 after struggling with her own epilepsy. She is a young girl who had a big creative dream. In 2009, her creativity went international when the New York-based Anita Kaufman Foundation and the Epilepsy Association of Nova Scotia joined her campaign. On March 26th, we are all encouraged to wear purple for epilepsy awareness. For our fundraising efforts, we were given an opportunity of a lifetime. To help celebrate Epilepsy Research UK's 20th anniversary in 2012, we were invited to number 10 Downing Street. Yes, I said number 10, home of the Prime Minister. What an amazing day that was. So if you fancy doing the Hugh Grant Love Actually dance down the corridor of number 10, yes, I actually did that, or drinking the PM's wine, then get your creative head on and think up some fabulous ways to fundraise for your chosen charity. And if you don't have a favourite, then please feel free to join us at leesmile.com. To finish off my creative month, I had a doodle fest using the American Zentangle method. This is a creative art form where all you need is paper, pencil and a pen. Don't panic if you can't draw or paint, if you've never used acrylics or pastels, or if you think a canvas is something you sleep under, which of course it is, but that's for another book. A couple of years ago, I discovered this creative art form, which is not only simple to do, even for a non-drawer, but also therapeutic and meditative. Huge tick in the box for my holistic alter ego. Cast your mind back to your school days for a moment. Were your school books covered in little doodles, spider webs drawn across your maths book, eyes, bubbles and snakes sketched on your homework diary, and of course the occasional love heart, complete with initials, on your French textbook? We all doodle, whether it's on school books, drawing a moustache on Simon Cowell's picture in a magazine, or on the gas bill as you wait in the phone queue. You are 10th in the line. Your call is important to us. Doodle, 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 and suddenly your love hearts have horns and breathe fire. I am a regular visitor to the Hobbycraft show at the National Exhibition Centre in Birmingham, and I met the inspirational Alison Thompson from Old Hall Crafts on one of my visits. She was the woman responsible for my addiction to Zentangling. Of course, this particular addiction has helped me to become better at meditation and calm any anxieties that crop up day to day. My children love to tangle, and my daughter's friends often create amazing little projects when they come for a sleepover. So what on earth is Zentangle? Zentangle was created by Rick Roberts and Maria Thomas. Maria was working on background patterns for a manuscript and mentioned to Rick what a feel-good experience it was and how she was able to focus without thought or worry as she worked. Rick realised she was describing the feeling you achieve during meditation. They put their heads together and hey presto. Don't worry if you can't even draw a straight line. This could be the creative pursuit for you. There is no right or wrong way. In fact, if you did go wrong, then chances are you've just invented the new tangle pattern. There are some wonderful videos on YouTube to help you create fantastic patterns or for inspiration. I would recommend logging on to the Zentangle website for top tips and amazing designs and ideas. Rick and Maria's blog is a wonderful read, and you can also subscribe to their newsletter and be kept up to date on Zentangle news and events. Links can be found at the end of the book. You may wonder why I bother spending time Zentangling, but I can say it has helped me on many occasions. Insomnia. We've all had a sleepless night for one reason or another. Having a blank notepad and pen by the bed means I can tangle for a while, calming my thoughts and drift easily back to sleep. Sausage and mash moments. The ladies on my meditation classes understand all about sausage and mash moments. You're drifting into a meditative state, concentrating on your breathing, then wham! Did I put the cat out? Have I locked the back door? Shall we have sausage and mash for tea? Zentangling helps you to concentrate on being in the moment and allows you to leave your sausage and mash moments for later, reducing stress and anxiety and improving your focus. You don't have to keep your newfound creative talents to yourself either. Frame a tangle, make cards or bookmarks. You can even tangle on furniture. MDF, medium density fibreboard, an engineered wood product which can be cut into letters or words, and fabric to enjoy at home. Here's how to get started. Tangles can be drawn on anything, but traditional tangles are drawn on tiles, 3.5 inches by 3.5, smooth art paper square. 1. Draw a dot in each corner with a pencil, about 5 millimeters from the edge. 2. Join the dots. Don't worry if your line is wobbly, it adds to the uniqueness. 3. Draw a zigzag, a loop or a swirl across the centre. 4. Using a pen, micron is recommended, draw tangle patterns, doodles, in each section. 5. Simple as that. If you'd like to see some of my creations, You can find my post dedicated to Zentangle at myresolutionchallenge.blogspot.co.uk. There are many books available, as well as the online resources, to find tangle patterns, but look around you, at your wallpaper, the pattern on your socks, even the tread on your trainers. They all make perfect tangle patterns to use on your art. By the end of week 13, my creativity was bouncing off the walls. I had entered more writing competitions, signed up for another fun run for charity, and made some Zentangle gifts for presents. Month 3 equals mission completed. I would like to express my thanks to Rick and Maria for giving me permission to share their wonderful creation with my readers. Please do stop by their site and say hello. NB, Zentangle, The Red Square, and Anything is Possible, One Stroke at a Time, are registered trademarks of Zentangle Inc.